Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie above thy deep and dreamless sleep. The silent stars go by, yet in thy dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. For Christ is born of Mary and gathered all above. While mortals sleep, the angels keep their watch of wondrous love. O morning stars together proclaim the holy birth, and praises sing to God the King, and peace to men on earth. How silently the wondrous gift is given. So God imparts to human hearts the blessing of his heaven. No ear may hear his coming, but in this world of sin, where meek souls will receive him still, the dear Christ enters in. Let the King of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song, 'cause you are good, good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Let the King of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my song. Let the King of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song, 'cause you are good, you're good. Oh, yes, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, yes, you are good, you're good. Oh, holy child of Bethlehem, descend to us, we pray. Cast out our sin and enter in. Be born in us today. We hear the Christmas angels, the great glad tidings tell. Oh, come to us, abide with us, our Lord Emmanuel.
Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us and inviting us into your living room. This is my son Pax's piggy bank. It's clearly a Jeff Koons knockoff. He occasionally does chores around the house, and we'll give him change for completing those chores. He's always saving for something. For a while, it was a red hat at the Santa Barbara Zoo. Occasionally, it's for a toy at Mr. Softy. Right now, I believe it's a digital Spider-Man watch. The other day, I was in my bedroom changing after work, and I had change in my pocket. And Pax said, "Dad, can I have that?" And I said, "I'll make you a deal. You give me those 2 pennies, and I'll give you this quarter." Pax said, "Dad, why would I give you 2 for 1? I said, "Well, Pax, this is worth 25 of those. So give me the 2. I'll give you this, which is worth 25. He looked at me incredulous. No matter how much reasoning and rationalizing I went about, he just could not get the concept that I was going to give him 1 for 2. This has caused a great deal of concern in Megan and I that he will one day control our finances in our latter years. The 19th century philosopher G.K. Chesterton writes this: "When a person has found something which he or she prefers to life itself, they've begun to live for the first time." Jesus has come and revealed the Father. How do we know what God is like? We look to the Son. And in that life and ministry, Jesus has revealed an exchange, offered an exchange from the little narratives and stories that we can make our life about, that ultimately we will be phantoms, will be shattered by the reality that none of those could have lasting meaning. Rather, Jesus invites us into an exchange and says, "I've got something better that makes the here and now better and eternity irresistible." No, this is not just about coming to know the Lord for the first time. It's about renewing a commitment again and again to walk and follow in the way of Jesus, to exchange the things that we are likely to live for and give our life meaning for the ways of Jesus. The Apostle John, in his gospel, chapter 1, writes this: "The Word became flesh," the Word being Jesus, "became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth." Verse 16, "Out of his fullness we have all received grace in place of grace already given. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, but the one and only Son, who is himself God and is in closest relationship with the Father, has made him known." If Jesus is Lord, then your 401k cannot be. If Jesus is Lord, then your family, your home, your possessions cannot be. If Jesus is Lord, your achievements and titles, your ladder climbing and successes cannot be. You see, the exchange that Jesus offers us robs us in the best of ways of what I would argue are the 2 greatest plagues of our generation: cynicism and a pursuit of perfection. Cynicism is ultimately the loss of hope. It is the belief that tomorrow can't be any better than today. It's a great danger, and it is seated in so much of our talk and conversation. The exchange Jesus offers robs us of that cynicism. The world he is bringing is better than the one we know. And the second like it, equally as dangerous, is the pursuit of perfection, whether that be our homes looking Instagrammably perfect, our children always presenting as perfect, whether that's our bodies looking perfect, our marriages seeming perfect. The pursuit of perfection is killing us all. And it denies the reality that we need grace. And the deepest work of God within us is to offer grace to one another when we see the secret, which is no one's perfect. No one's reached perfection. A number of years ago, Megan and I lived in Seattle. I served at a church, and she was finishing up law school at UW. I preached regularly, and so I was on stage and hosted services and made announcements. I was fairly well known in the community just because of the size of the church and my kind of public persona being on stage. Megan, in contrast, for the first time in our marriage and most of her life, wasn't volunteering in children's ministry or youth ministry as she finished out her law degree and was in finals. She spent most days and nights at the law library. But there was this one Sunday that I had finished preaching and I was attending to some work there at the church, and she was walking down the hallway headed to the car to go home. And an elderly man by the name of Jan, who was a counselor for his entire career, grabbed her by the arm, looked her in the eye in a very piercing way, and said, "Megan, I see you." At first, she laughed it off as some kind of joke, and he said, No, I see you. And in those words, he was conveying, I see you not as the pastor's wife, not as Brian's partner, not as Pax's mom or Mac's mom. I see you for who you are and how God's made you. Those words leveled her. It had probably been too long since someone noted that they just saw Megan. I hope this morning in your home, surrounded by loved ones or those you'll spend the afternoon or evening with, is filled with hope and joy. Those things rob cynicism also. But above all, I hope you know that the incarnation and the birth of Jesus says he sees you. He sees you and he comes to where you're at right now. The promise is he will meet your needs this new year. Have a wonderful Christmas.
Let the king of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. 'Cause you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, you're good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, you are good, you're good.
So hey, next week, service is different, right?
Yeah, so next week, we're only going to have one service, but we will be in person. So please do come, and that will be at what time?
10 o'clock, January 1st, right here in the auditorium, all together. There's a great children's program that Clara has planned for all the kids, and it's going to be really fun, like being together, everybody together. That's going to feel really nice to start off the new year.
Yeah, I think what a great way. Sunday falls on the first of the year, and what a great way to start our year. So
have a great time on New Year's Eve, and then show up to church. Let's start the year off right.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Is there any that you can use, Eddie? So Josh, every year in the Rayburn household, we ask a question, like a meaningful question about the new year. This year's question is this: what is something you're going to learn new in 2023?
How to sew. Oh, no, wait, I did that last year. So in 2020, actually, I learned how to hydrofoil surf.
Yeah.
And I learned how to sew with a sewing machine.
That's incredible.
Thanks to YouTube.
Okay, so 2023, you're going to learn.
So 2023, I think cello.
I love cello.
I think cello.
I love cello. Question.
No, I interrupted you. You go.
3, 2, 1. Holy night. 3, 2, 1. The stars are brightly shining. Christmas is different, right? Or, no. Next week. Beep.